Sweetheart, take them text messages and shove it up your fucking ass. Because when you do clown shit, I gotta treat you and talk to you like you a clown.
Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Wahala. It's your girl Crystal Tweneboah, and on today's episode of Weekly Wahala, we're going to be talking about the whole Jesy Nelson and Nicki Minaj versus Little Mix controversy, like saga that's been going on for the past couple of days. So yeah, this has been going on for like 5 or 6 days now, and it all started when Jesy Nelson released her solo debut that has been long awaited. It was a song. The song is called Boys, and she sampled it from Diddy and Mace's Bad Boys for Life. To be quite honest, I'd never really heard the song like before, like the original song with Diddy, because like Diddy isn't really the type of like music that I listened to or like I grew up on. But like I think she did well. For me personally, the song isn't like I feel like with the whole song, I prefer Nicki's verse, and like Nicki's part is what really like solidified the song together. I feel like the chorus, like Jesy singing the chorus was really nice, but obviously the verses in between, like they're not really catchy to me or anything like that. But actually, yeah, some parts of it, like the hook and like the chorus and stuff like that, are pretty catchy. But obviously, what everybody was talking about was Nicki's verse, and Nicki had one of the best verses on the track of, I don't want to say of all time, but like because Nicki has had some really, really good verses. But yeah, Nicki had to come back and remind the girls that she is still the queen for a reason.
You had no right to throw his phone and break his property, even though you were upset.
It's for me.
And and also as well to like the visuals. One thing I can actually say about the video was like the visuals was really good. The different scenes, the different like scenes that they shot in, I thought was really, really nice. And I also think that I kept saying this, but I thought Nicki was so cute, like where she popped up with the band around her, obviously like showing homage, like paying homage to like the way Diddy did it. But obviously I felt like I thought she was so cute, and I kept thinking like, oh my gosh, Nicki is having the time of her life on the set, and I enjoyed it, and I loved watching Nicki every step of the way. It sort of makes me excited to see her Nicki do her own like solo comeback, because I know that there's word on the curb that Nicki's coming back with an album, so I'm really, really excited, and I'm really waiting for that. But so obviously when Jesy dropped the music video, there was obviously conversations that she was blackfishing, and I know that this isn't the first time that like Jesy has been called out for blackfishing, so that's why for me it was like it went over my head, because I was like, this yeah, we've had this conversation, she's still tanning, she doesn't give a F what you guys say, so it is what it is. Like she hasn't addressed it, like back then she hasn't addressed it, so like I don't know why, like, you know, why it's being brought up again, sort of thing.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And then like pretty much I sort of figured out that like Jesy is sort of new-ish to the, like as a solo artist, she's pretty much like new-ish to the American like demographic, so obviously that's why it would have been brought up, because obviously like the British people know Jesy from Little Mix, especially watching Little Mix all the way from X Factor, where I think Tulisa was like their head, like she was like the manager of them, like you know how like the judges like sort of manage like I know that during that time Tulisa was like managing the groups, and so like even though obviously Kelly Rowland put Little Mix together, like Tulisa managed them, and like they won the X Factor, so like the UK public are very familiar with Little Mix, but obviously like everybody was anticipating to see what kind of soloist Jesy was going to be, and what kind of like, it's almost like just like the same thing as like, you know, One Direction, when they sort of broke out, you want to see like which pathway, like which sort of path of music, what sort of genre, what their sound is going to be like, what their style is going to be like, how they're going to be like as an overall individual artist. So obviously everybody was like, you know, everybody was like waiting to see what Jesy was going to produce. And of course, like that's when this whole blackfishing saga came out. So for me personally, I don't really call it blackfishing. I think it's called a mixed fishing, and like I feel like the reason why, you know, we have to make sure that we get the terminologies right, because like technically Jesy and other women like her who are being accused of mixed fishing, which is what. But obviously, I'm gonna call it blackfishing because like, well, it depends. Like, some I just wanna like try and get this done, but obviously, if I do. I believe that it's called mixed. I believe it should be called mixed fishing. But obviously, if I slip up, it's just because like everybody's been talking about blackfishing. But I do think that it's called mixed fishing because like when you actually deep it, like girls like who have been accused of mixed fishing, so like your Jessys, your Kylie Jenner and stuff, and Kim Kardashian. You have to admit that, you have to understand that they're not trying to look like me with dark skin and 40 kinky hair. They're trying to obviously look like people like Sweetie and like Zendaya and stuff like that. Like they're like sort of the ambiguity. So obviously that's why I feel like it's not really necessarily called blackfishing. Obviously the technicality is that when you do go into it more, like some people will think that like, you know, some light-skinned black women who are black, but maybe that's where it might conflict the two. But I feel like, yeah, that's why I feel like we should call it mixed fishing, because like, to be quite fair, let's be honest, like Jesy isn't trying to look or embody me. She's trying to obviously emulate the like the racially ambiguous women who are put on a pedestal sort of thing.
You call me dark chocolate, aka young sexy motherfucker.
So like obviously at first quite a lot of fans did some digging, and they said that the rest of Little Mix, so Leigh-Anne, Perry and Jade had unfollowed Jesy, but obviously that was not the case, and we'll come to find out why. Well, not basically what happened was that Jesy had actually blocked the girls, so they haven't. I think Leigh-Anne basically came out and said, like, basically in a text message, which I'll go more into, but yeah, that's basically what happened. So the people who are basically spreading it around that like that they had all simultaneously unfollowed Jesy has been debunked. So a TikToker who has basically put himself out that he's a Little Mix fan. He put on his TikTok that, so like TikTok, and so I think he put on his Instagram, I think, or was it TikTok, I'm not sure, that should he make a dance to Jesy's, he was asking his fans that should he make a dance to Jesy's like new song Boys. And obviously he released the DMs that Leigh-Anne had sent him, that basically between him and Leigh-Anne, sorry, and that Leigh-Anne, one of the Little Mix members, that told him, oh no, make a video talking about her blackfishing instead. Leigh-Anne basically said stuff about that Jesy's a horrible person because she blocks all of them, that she's been distant, like just a whole bunch of stuff basically, which made me sort of give Leigh-Anne the side eye, because like I don't think it was warranted. I don't think it was necessary. So basically Nicki Minaj then starts trending because obviously she went on live, and that's where, you know, everything went sour pretty much, because Nicki Minaj basically made it apparent that she was on Jesy's side, and she mainly, I mean, she sort of talked about Little Mix as a whole sort of thing, and she pretty much made it like the shots that she was firing, Nicki Minaj, were pretty much ambiguous, and she didn't really put a name on who she was basically talking about, but everybody sort of knew who that she was basically referencing Leigh-Anne. And she was also talking about, I think one of the things that was a bit mean was that she called Leigh-Anne a clown, and in an attempt to sort of call her out, and obviously it was very, very ugly to look at, and it wasn't very nice.
Sweetheart, take them text messages and shove it up your fucking ass, because when you do clown shit, I gotta treat you and talk to you like you a clown. Don't have to come out and try to ruin anyone. Let her enjoy this time. If you was in this woman's group and you ain't talk about this shit for 10 years, And as soon as you see she got a video come out with Nicki Minaj and Puffy, now you sending the stations text messages and all this shit. Print them text messages out. Bust your ass open and shove it up your motherfucking ass. Okay? And stop trying to hurt people and kill people's lives and career. This is the way people feed their families. Stop. If you want a solo career, baby girl, just say that. You can go out and put your own music. We're going to support you and love you. That's it. You don't have to attack someone else. If that's how you felt, why would you keep keying with her and being in the video with her for 10 years? Now, all of a sudden, she's not in a video with you. You have some negative, evil thing to do and say? Stop. If that's the case, tell all of these singers that y'all follow and all of these reality TV people that y'all follow, tell them to take off their spray tan and their tans and their lips and their everything they're doing. That means the black girls can't wear a long blonde weave wig down to our feet. We're gonna do whatever the fuck we want, when we want, how we want.
Yeah.
So please stop. It screams just insecurity. It screams that you're jealous. Only jealous people do things like this. And now you just look like a big jealous bozo. Please stop. I love you guys. I love all of y'all. But please don't do this. Okay. Go out, everybody. Listen to Boys. It's Jesy Nelson featuring Nicki Minaj.
When it was announced that Jesy was going solo, because I know that it made like, well, when Jesy left, when it was announced that Jesy left the group, it made like media, I know like whenever you turn on to radio stations, everybody was talking about it. So obviously I sort of felt like, at first I was thinking like, as long as with quite a lot of people I've spoken to, I thought that she just wasn't going to make music anymore. And apparently she said that she sort of left for her mental health because she kept comparing herself to the rest of the girls in terms of like her weight and stuff like that, which is obviously very sad. And Jesy was also talking about the fact that like I think one of the interviews that I watched, that I read, or I think I watched about the whole saga, was that she said that you know, when Little Mix did the whole the last project that they did, Sweet Melody, sorry, I was trying to think of the name, but when Little Mix did that project, that Sweet Melody project, Jesy was talking about how obviously it was quite a while since they had filmed anything due to like the lockdown, the pandemic, everything like that. So obviously when they came back on set, all the girls were pretty happy and like really excited to get back to normality and start like focusing on music again. But obviously Jesy said that she just kept thinking of her weight and like she kept thinking about like starving herself, which I felt like it was really sad. But I sort of thought that like she left the group to just like go and do something else. Like I didn't think that she was gonna go solo basically. And so that's why I felt like I was giving her the side eye in that situation. I was giving Jesy the side eye in that situation, because I was thinking like, like for me personally, if she wanted to go solo, she could have just said that. Like she didn't have to come out and say, like there are different people who have left groups and said this isn't for me, I want to go, I feel like my career needs to take a different turn. And I do think that obviously that would have caused backlash, her saying that anyway. But I felt like she felt like she wanted to go solo, and I felt like she should have just said that, as opposed to using the whole that whole thing, like that whole like me comparing myself to the girls, like as a motive to sort of leave.
My friend, come on, they should give us a break.
Because when I heard that she's making music, I sort of thought to myself, for somebody who doesn't like being compared, doesn't that defeat you going solo, defeat the whole purpose? Simply because now that you're solo, it's just going to be you on stage. So like it's just going to be you and maybe your backup dancers on stage. So of course like people are going to be focusing on you. And if like, so it's like you can't hide behind a group anymore, and it's just gonna be like, obviously I do think that she probably feels like I'm gonna be on stage on my own, and it's just gonna be me, Jesy, my Newman lights. But in a sense, if you're saying that, oh, I don't like, I've been bullied for my weight, don't you think that coming, like being on your own, like, is going to sort of stem that sort of stigma anyway? And I feel like to say that she's not being compared, let us, like, yes, she's not going to be compared like to the girls anymore, but I feel like she should now be worried that she's going to be compared to other girls in the pop industry or the soloists, because now she's entering into the solo market now. So she's going to be, whether or not she likes it, because that's what the music industry is, unfortunately, she's going to be compared to Dua Lipa, Ariana Grande, BB Rexa, Zara Larsson. These are her peers basically. So she's going to be compared to them, not even weight wise, because I feel like BB Rexa also came out and said that she's been she was bullied for her weight as well. So I know that it's not just going to be a Jesy problem, like it's a whole industry problem with like the way women are perceived in the industry. But I also feel like in terms of talent, like if she doesn't, and I feel like then now she can't really hide behind it again and say, oh, well, it's me. Like I feel like obviously we have to give her a chance and see what else she produces and see how her career takes off now. But I sort of feel like the whole comparison, oh, I want to leave and I want to be a soloist now because I've been comparing myself, and it's like you've got bigger fish to fry now, and so that's why I don't take this whole thing seriously anymore.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
I also think that like when it comes to, I feel like for me personally, I'm not really angry about the whole mixed fishing thing, because it's not really my identity to be angry about. I do obviously know that it's sad because this whole mixed fishing is going to obviously, more women like Jesy and stuff like that, like who are that racially ambiguous, are obviously going to replace dark skinned black women. But I feel like I'm not really going to, that's a whole different argument about like the whole colorism in the industry sort of debate. I don't think mixed fishing ties into that, because with mixed fishing, like, it's the people who she's trying to emulate who have a reason to be angry. So that's why I'm feeling like, you know what, let Leigh-Anne do what Leigh-Anne is doing. Let Leigh-Anne be angry at her and call her out for mixed fishing, because in a sense she's trying to look like Leigh-Anne. You know, she's been compared and people are saying that her and Leigh-Anne are pretty much the same skin tone, because Jesy tans so dark. And so I feel like it's Leigh-Anne's, people like Leigh-Anne and Sweetie and them, like people who look racially ambiguous, they need to come forward and they need to, it's their battle. It's not really my fight, because Jessy's not trying to look like me. She's not trying to look dark skinned with 4C kinky hair. So I don't know where that would tie into. I do think I still, like I said, Leigh-Anne basically telling the TikToker to talk about Jesy was in poor taste, and that in turn
Imagine that.
you know, I feel like in the beginning everything was everything was sort of like against Jesy, not to be like mean, but everything, like, I think Jesy was mainly making the headlines because the music video was so controversial. But now it's like, you know, it's now turned on Leigh-Anne because she was doing some sneaky stuff behind the scenes, trying to let an influencer, you know, trying to like dictate what somebody else has to do with their content.
The way that I look at it is, if you're that concerned, rather than being shady about it and trying to get other people to do your dirty work, why don't you speak out on about it yourself? Like, you know, come on, you've made a documentary. Why don't you speak out? What's this compared to a documentary speaking? Why don't you speak out about it? It doesn't make any sense to me. You won't speak out about it because that would affect your opportunities, your brand deals, your movies, your music, your career. But you don't mind me taking the fall and potentially affecting my opportunities.
And it's like, why don't you come out and say with your chest that, oh, I feel like, oh, she's blackfishing, or this, what I feel like. Why are you like going behind the scenes and, you know, messaging people and saying you should, you know, now I understand why Nicki called her a clown, because that is some clownish. Like, don't go behind the scenes and be talking to people saying that, oh, you should do this, you should do that. No, why don't you do it? You've got the platform to do it, you've got the followers, you feel angry about it, so come out and tell us how you feel, sort of thing.
But what we won't have is putting out text messages to try to ruin someone and telling people and influencers to talk badly about this girl.
But yeah, I feel like also the media are having like a field day with this as well, because when I saw the articles on Google, it was mainly like obviously the whole unfollowing saga and like, you know, how people felt about it. But I also saw quite a lot of like the newspapers saying that basically Leigh-Anne versus Jesy sort of thing, you know, which obviously, and I sort of do understand that as well, because Leigh-Anne was the one who was more vocal. I don't feel like the other members have been as vocal as Leigh-Anne, but hey, but also like the last sort of thing that has like been the turn of events was that Nicki Minaj tweeted yesterday, which basically if you need like dates why it was Tuesday. Nicki Minaj came out and tweeted a lot more, because a lot of her fans who are black women didn't really appreciate the fact that Nicki was taken up for Jesy. So Nicki was obviously going back and forth with people, but in her latest tweet, I think a lot of people weren't really happy with Nicki. Even her fans weren't really happy with Nicki because she sort of dragged Doja Cat into it, and there's some people in the comment section saying, "Oh, leave Doja Cat out of it," sort of thing. Basically about the whole Nicki was basically from Nicki's point of view, she was saying that it's a bit ironic that every time that I make a song with somebody, you guys have an issue with them. Obviously, like, no, after when Nicki did that song with Doja Cat, people called Doja Cat anti-black. When Nicki did a feature with Bia, with the whole lot of money remix, they apparently called out Bia out for blackfishing as well, or mixed fishing as well, and then now Jesy. So that's what Nicki's gripe was. But obviously a lot of fans were saying that, you know, Wayne Nicki don't really get involved because it's in poor taste. In the comment section as well of her tweet, of course Lil Mix fans were in there as well, sort of giving it to Nicki, saying that they weren't really happy about it. And even I think that's what shocked me, was that her fans even were saying that I think Nicki should sit this one down.
You 38 years old. How long you gonna be doing this? You 38 years old. How long you gonna be doing this?
And I do feel like I do understand that it is fair for Nicki to get involved, because she feels as though Jesy is like she's doing a feature with Jesy. But I feel like I do feel like Nicki should have sat this one out just like she did with the Doja one, because like I feel like it's bigger than that. And like I feel like deep down inside it's sort of brewing with the whole I feel like more so there's more tension with the whole Jesy departing the group than this whole blackfishing saga, which I feel like Nicki isn't really sort of grasping, and I don't want Nicki to be like caught in the crossfire and come out and like, you know, come out all guns blazing and then miss the whole point altogether. So anyway, that's how I feel about this topic.
I just put a tweet out just a minute, like about an hour ago, about Jesy Nelson and Nicki Minaj's new song, about the fact that Jesy looks basically the same complexion as Nicki, and also that is a conversation to be had about, you know, Nicki's skin appearing to be lighter, her skin appearing to be darker. And it brings me to this topic that is so near and dear to my heart: colorism. And the fact of the matter is, anybody that tries to tell me that colorism is not a thing, okay, the fact now that we have white women understanding the power of looking racially ambiguous at this current climate, how we are right now in society, tells you everything. We have white women trying their best to appear racially ambiguous. I don't even want to call it blackfishing anymore, because I genuinely don't think they're trying to appear black. I genuinely think they're trying to be racially ambiguous, meaning you don't know where the fuck they come from. They could come from anywhere in the world, because, you know, their skin is a little bit tanned, you know, they've got some hair, big curly hair or whatever they've got going on. And it reinforces everything that black women, or I've been saying, that the lighter shade you are, the more privilege you have, especially within the entertainment.
Let me know what you guys feel down below. Do you think that let me know about your mixed fishing like if you feel like Jesy should not, obviously a lot of people do feel like she should stop tanning. Like a bunch of people were saying it, like British people, British white people, obviously black people were saying that like she should tone, because like yeah, like Jesy isn't the first person to tan. Like there's bare people, even like they were comparing it to like Kim Kardashian and Kylie, and I was like, yeah, they tan, but nobody is tanning as dark as her. Like she's doing the most. But yeah, let me know more about the whole mixed fishing thing. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Let me know what you guys feel about Nicki Minaj. You think the Queen should have just sat this one down and let this one be between their ex-band members, sort of thing? Because I feel like I said, this is bigger than the whole mixed fishing. I feel like obviously the mixed fishing is a topic, but I feel like what has blown up between the members, Leigh-Anne and Jesy, is obviously is that there's still tension between the whole departure thing. So yeah, let me know what you guys feel like, and especially if you're a Little Mix fan, if you're a Barb, let me know the tea, basically. Yeah, so I basically did this video in good faith. I'm not here to drag anybody. I'm just here to sort of like state my opinion. So let me guys know what your opinion is, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye guys. This is your Wahala video of the week.